Ancient landmarks. On the remote back roads between Llansteffan and Llanabry, hidden within an ordinary hedgerow, is a special landmark. This is Maen Melyn, the Yellow Stone, an ancient standing stone which may well have stood in this exact spot for over 4,000 years. Only a mile up the road is an even larger, much more exposed standing stone, Maen Llwyd, the Grey Stone. In a neatly kept field, perched high up on a hill which commands stunning views of the Towey estuary, Maen Llwyd keeps watch over the ever-changing landscape, as it has done for millennia. All around it, other landmarks have cropped up through the ages. Maen Llwyd was stood here long before they were built, and likely will still be here long after they've gone. Empires, kings, queens, royal dynasties, wars, even the many generations of farmers that tend this very field have come and gone. All the while, Maen Llwyd has quietly held vigil upon its perch, unchanged, save for the lichen that has grown on it. In Llansteffan, there is another standing stone. Somewhere on this section of the beach at the north end of the green is Carreg Fawr Nant Jac, the big stone of Nant Jac, currently submerged by the sand. Carreg Fawr Nant Jac is also known as Maen Llwyd ar y Traeth, the grey stone on the beach, or Maen Llwyd St Ishmael, the grey stone of St Ishmael. Occasionally, it reappears with the shifting alluvial sand levels. Though there are many standing stones all throughout the British Isles, there are very few examples found on a beach. Carreg Fawr Nant Jac's strange position has given rise to a local saying that when they brought the stones east from the Preseli Hills to build Stonehenge, they must have left one behind in Llansteffan along the way. But the antiquarian George Eyre Evans noted on his visit to Llansteffan in 1912 that locals then remembered the spot where Carreg Fawr Nant Jac now stands was once pasture land, gradually becoming beachland over time due to coastal erosion. These stones possess a very mysterious aura, a confusing mix of being so shapeless and crude, yet looking so very deliberate and purposeful. Standing stones like these are known as menhirs, or in Welsh, Maen Hir, meaning long stone. In fact, there are many other menhirs in this region alone, near the villages of Llangain, Llanganog, and there are even two just across the river from Carreg Fawr Nant Jac. Very little is understood about these menhirs. All we know is that they are very large and very old, placed in specific spots by our ancient ancestors, about whom we also know frustratingly little. A rock the size of Maen Llwyd could well weigh up as much as 4 or 5 tons. What would possess people to haul such a huge rock up onto this hill and stand it upright? No one knows for sure the exact purpose of these standing stones, or exactly how our ancestors were able to move them. Could menhirs have been a form of ancient milestone? Were they territorial boundary markers? Maybe they were instruments used in astrological calculations, or were they of spiritual significance, possibly functioning as some kind of religious altar or shrine? Were they ever painted with markings or drawings, or decorated with branches, herbs and leaves? We may never know their true purpose, but there are some other megalithic sites in the area that may be a little less inscrutable. All the way up at the top of Old Road, overlooking Llansteffan, is Fron Icha. Tucked in this unassuming spot are not one, but 3 huge boulders. Their positioning belies their potential purpose. They are believed to be the remains of an ancient burial chamber. Similarly, near the village of Llanganog are the remains of Tulca Felliast, also believed to be a burial chamber, which, unlike Wronicha, retains a capstone, albeit fallen. Though their purpose seems more apparent, we still don't know for certain how the people of that time managed to move and arrange such huge boulders, or why they chose these particular spots for them. These menhirs and burial chambers may at first seem like little more than randomly dumped piles of rock, but they represent very important and precious insight into early civilization in these lands. They are by far the oldest man-made landmarks in the area. They were erected when woolly mammoths walked the earth. They are a testament that our ancestors were not necessarily savage, but a very innovative, industrious, and compassionate people. And even more fundamentally, they are proof that human beings lived here several thousand years ago. Who knows what the landscape around Llansteffan may have looked like when the first settlers came here? Perhaps they had many more landmarks, huts, even entire villages here, whose traces are long gone, since presumably most of their materials were made of wood and other substances which decay, unlike stone which lasts nearly forever. Though the stone monuments are not all we have left of them. They left other footprints in the landscape. Earthworks from Iron and Bronze Age forts dot the area, such as the preserved earthworks of the promontory fort atop Castle Hill. Another mystery which remains is who exactly was responsible for these landmarks. Were they Celts, Druids, or the Belbeca people, or perhaps an even more ancient race? The deep rabbit hole of questions and intrigue that these ancient relics inspire in us represent the epitome of our desire to learn and understand our heritage. The more mysterious and unknowable a subject is, the more beguiling it becomes. Even on the quiet backroads of Llansteffan, gems like these manage to provoke excitement in the hearts of history lovers. This area is peppered with relics from as far back as the Stone Age, reinforcing the notion that Llansteffan has always been an ideal place to live. Yet one more question remains. If people are still living here 4,000 or 5,000 years from now, will these landmarks still be standing? And what traces of the people from today will remain?